Well, the good thing with this company, Aussie Brewers, is that they do have a dedicated customer service number. People do answer it, and it's an 1800 number, so it costs me nothing if I use my landline to ring them. So that's all good. And I just got the confirmation, yeah, they are in pretty solidly, and yeah, the YouTube video is not indicative of necessarily how they're going to work. What a surprise. So he just said, look, use a coin, a 50-cent coin. I think I've probably got some 20-cent ones, but I've got some change from yesterday because I need it for the bus, so it should be all right. And he says you just got to force it initially and don't worry about splintering the plastic, because that was my major concern. Didn't want to cause any overall damage. So fingers crossed that all works out well, and then I guess it'll be a matter of me actually sanitising the fermenter before I could start mixing the brew. So look, if I just follow the instructions, presumably it should work out okay. I did it in an old bucket as a kid. I did 2 brews when I was a kid. The first one was beautiful. It was in a bucket that would have been twice as big as this fermenter, and the beer was nice. That was back in the good old days when they had 750 ml bottles, and that was a nice brew. And then I did it again, and I used the sanitizer the second time. And when you use a sanitizer, you have to be really careful to make sure you wash all the residue out, because it had a tainted, it was tainted, the taste of the beer, and it wasn't as good simply because I'd done the right thing and used the sanitizer on the bottles, but you just have to really rinse them out thoroughly. So you live and learn, but I'll give it another go and see how it goes this time. Oh, I need the calmness of the garden. It's nice. At least it's a nice day. I never anticipated it'd be such a hassle doing such a simple thing as removing the plug from the fermenter, but it's become mission impossible the way it looks. I will ask my neighbour, see if there's anyone's got some tools or whatever, because the thing is, it's because of the shape of it. It's in a rectangular depression shape, so you've got to have something that fits. It's a rectangular shape, and it's got like a corkscrew where you can actually provide a bit of, a couple of handles or something to provide some mechanical force so you can get this damn thing open. I've been able to get it 1 rotation, but apparently it takes about 3 to get the thing off. They know there's a problem with it. I wish someone would do something about it. I mean, if obviously they've had that feedback, you'd think you'd do something about it, but I mean, why am I having all these stupid hassles? Like I got the that garden cart without any instructions on assembly. That was a miracle. I got that one together. But, just another stupid hassle. I've had a lot of hassles with the house too, to be quite frank. This is one I didn't expect. Something as simple as this, step 1 when it comes to getting the home brewing going, and I can't even get the bloody plug removed so I can put the tap into the fermenter. I mean, there's a few more steps to go. This could be a Russian novel, the way it's going. Oh, dear. War and Peace is what I'm trying to think about. Yeah, it could be my version of War and Peace, the way this is turning out. I forgot to mention yesterday too, I was on the bus. I noticed that this young girl, I reckon she was, I don't know how old she was, but she might have been less than 20, and she had a kid with her, and I assume it was her kid. This little girl, I think, was probably only about, 4 or 5 years old, and they were both wearing masks, and I thought, gee, I feel sorry for this, especially for the kid, I mean, they don't need to wear masks. I mean, they're very low risk, and it's just ridiculous. And the only people on the bus that were wearing masks. That's the one good thing about up here. It's a fairly rare occurrence to see that. And actually, during the day, I think they're the only people I saw wearing masks up here. So, but I just think, God, this propaganda, this scaremongering has got to a stage where people like that are so freaked out that they'll even put masks on kids who really don't need them, and they're not effective anyway. We know that because they keep people, shonks like Fauci keep bloody changing their story all the time. I mean, this whole thing started with a doctor in England made a big name for himself, declaring doom and gloom that millions of people in the UK will die because of this virus. And it was all found to be basically scaremongering. And of course, the guy's reputation's in tatters. Although I think he's cropped up in the media again. It's unbelievable. These people are like cockroaches. You can't kill them. They just keep coming back. They've got hides as thick as elephants. Nothing seems to worry them. Yeah, I don't know. I could ask. I will ask my next door neighbour, because I don't want to go through the hassle of having to return the bloody thing, because the fermenter has to go all the way to Earlville, which is the other end of bloody Cairns. So if I need to get the damn thing replaced, although the guy said, look, we might be able to arrange something where they can drop a new one off for you. Because I said, I haven't got a car, and that's ridiculous. It's just, it couldn't have been a worse location. It's pretty well the total opposite end of the city. I mean, it could have been a little worse, but it's pretty bad. It is the opposite end, and yeah, I could do without that sort of crap. And then again, that's another hassle when you do online. If something goes wrong, as opposed to having a retail outlet you can just go to, they've got to use people that are sort of agents, I guess. And like I said, they're out in bloody Earlville. I chose this company because they've had excellent reviews, and so far the customer service has been good. And they do have the numbers, the number you can contact them on, and you know you get through to them. It doesn't cost anything, so that's all really good. But gee, they shouldn't be. They should do something about a product that has an inherent design problem like that. Hello everyone, it's Sunday, another beautiful day. God, the weather's been amazingly consistent of recent times. So yesterday, 4 o'clock, another shutdown in Queensland in 13 local government areas. I'm presuming that that's basically Brisbane, including the Gold Coast and Sunshine Coast. So you have my commiserations down there. I'm so happy that I decided to go the whole hog and move from Melbourne to Cairns. It appears to have been a really good move all round, given these extraordinary times we're living in now. I personally have lost all faith in leadership these days. Our leaders basically vacillate between policies. You know, 1 minute they say one thing, 1 minute they say another, and they love using the heavy hand of the lockdown continually. The virus cannot be defeated. This, in fact, is obvious to anybody who thinks it through. However, try to get that message through to politicians. I personally believe that the reason that they continue to do this is they know it works with the electorate. The electorate is coward and scared and easily manipulated now. Normally, you wouldn't be able to get away with these authoritarian moves, but in the circumstances we have these days, it is possible. Although you do see demonstrations occurring, as I've always said from the word go, that there would be some eventual fatigue with lockdowns and restrictions and mask wearing. The mask wearing is probably the worst. I mean, as I say, I saw a kid wearing a mask on the bus last Thursday, and it really made me think, oh, this is just too much, you know. Kids are the ones who are least in danger, and so, you know, why put a kid through that? I mean, because this girl, who may have been her mother or her elder sister, I'm not sure, whoever she is, someone in the family has decided that everyone has to wear masks, and they're the only ones on the bus that were, thank God, and I think I didn't see any other masks that day, so that's the good news. But the mask thing is just absurd. I mean, okay, sure, if you're in a doctor's surgery or in a clinic or whatever, or you're in a dentist and you're in an operating theatre, I can understand you've got to have masks under those circumstances. But in general terms, regarding the virus, it is ridiculous. And experts will tell you, certain experts will tell you the truth, that basically they don't have any effect. And people like Fauci, who's the greatest fraud on earth, in my opinion, he switched from one side to the other when it was convenient for him politically. And you're getting that a lot with the medical profession. And of course, the politicians just buck past to their medical officers in each state to basically take the heat if it's an unpopular decision. So it's just so typical. I mean, but luckily I'm in Cairns. I don't have to put up with that. Maybe I'll have to eventually move to some island the way things are going to get away from this insanity it's around the world. And and unfortunately it's really bad in Vietnam now. I've been watching videos and Saigon's a ghost town. It's so sad, it had such a vibrant street life in Saigon, and now it's gone. On a brighter front, I've actually played that demo for Company of Heroes 3. Really got into it, and actually, yeah, it's quite good. It's actually, it's not quite my style because it's actually fairly frenetic. Really gets the blood pumping. Maybe I need that because it's real-time action, so you can't stuff around. You can actually pause. They put that in so you can actually pause and make tactical decisions. But during the pause period, you can't go around the map and actually make some changes and what have you that easily. So it's actually, you're still really under the pump, but at least you can stop and take a breather and think, well, what's the best way to go with this? But yeah, I'm starting to get more of the nuances out, and I think I'll be playing it quite a bit even before it's released, which it won't be till next year. So, but I do feel obliged to give them some feedback because they've been gracious, the developers have been gracious enough to give us access. So that's good, and it's unfortunately, it'll probably eat up a lot of my time, but I am time rich, so that's one of the good things. So look, that's basically it. I'm very sad to hear that Queensland has joined New South Wales, or Sydney specifically, and Melbourne in lockdown hell. It's going to do a lot of damage to our economy. We were recovering very quickly, but my prediction is, I'll stick with my prediction, I think it's just going to be more of an impetus for people to seek out places like Cairns as a refuge, because it's getting to that stage where people just have got to look for some place on this continent that they can escape this craziness. And even though we're still under the yoke of the state government, we are at least in a geographically isolated area, and at least they're not locking down the whole state. So I will give them kudos for that at least, but I'm not happy about doing it in the first place because I just don't think it's going to really make that much difference. More important than vaccines is herd immunity. Once that's achieved, they've discovered that if you actually get natural immunity to these viral strains, it's a much better protector than the vaccines. So, let's stick with the real science, and it'd be nice for a change and maybe not disrupt people's lives so much. That's what I'd like to see. Anyway, look, you can disagree with me. Give me a thumbs down. Give me a thumbs up. I'd also appreciate it. I don't even look at the thumbs downs or thumbs up, to be quite frank. I'm just happy to get the comments and the views. As far as the algorithms are concerned, that doesn't matter. The main thing is to get thumbs up or thumbs down. It's just activity they're looking for, and they like having people make comments. I like the comments because I get people making really good comments generally, and quite informative. I've been very impressed with the viewers to this channel. I think it's not a huge subscriber base, but I think the people who do contribute have really helped me out a bit too, and I know that people have told me I've helped them out when, say, they're searching for a place. It's very gratifying to find that is the case. You're not just talking to a blank wall. People do actually respond. So please do make those comments and subscribe if you can. That would also be good. So look, enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and hopefully things will start getting a little easier lockdown-wise as time goes by. We can only hope. Unfortunately, in Sydney, you're going to have to wait a bit longer though.